Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. I'm all smiles right now. It's a great day. I hope you guys are happy. You guys are enjoying your day, whatever you're up to. I hope you're enjoying it. Today we're going to talk about CAF and Thomas Partey. And Thomas Partey, a teammate of his, has revealed that Thomas Partey, who is currently trending on Twitter, Thomas Partey has inquired about living in England, and his English is good, according to Kieran Trippier, who played formerly for Tottenham Hotspur. He says the Ghanaian has inquired, and he personally doesn't want the Ghanaian to leave because he's a valuable member of the Atletico Madrid side. He would obviously want him to stay, but with the way things are going, it looks likely that Thomas Partey, who has inquired from Trippier how life is in the Premier League and questions inquiring, I'll be giving you more details today. Thomas Partey, this deal could be closer than we think. I'll be giving you more details on that front. CAF also have decided that the Afcon 2021 will be shifted to February 2022. A jam-packed calendar is coming up. I'll be giving you what it means, what's the World Cup, and preparing for Afcon 2023, which will be a year later after 2022 Afcon. So many things to consider. It's going to be a jam-packed upcoming year, and I'm really ready for it. As usual, if you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to the channel and to click on the notification bell to get more updates. So we'll just jump right into it. I'll start off from the camp of the Confederation of African Football. Now, the Confederation of African Football, if you've been following this channel, I've been reporting, and I reported that the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup, as well as the African Cup of Nations, were in a limbo. COVID-19 has disrupted a lot of things from happening in the world of sports on the African continent, across everywhere. Euros have been shifted to 2021, and because of that, we could not play African Cup of Nations we will not be able to play African Cup of Nations in January 2021. To begin with, we haven't finished playing the qualifiers, and CAF today had a meeting to decide when we should proceed and continue with those qualifiers. They have come out with a decision and feel that it will be in the best interest of everyone if the competitions are rescheduled to 2022 January and February, because the weather conditions in Cameroon, which is the host nation, will not be conducive for June date. And as a side note here as well, you should know that in 2022 we will be having an African Cup of Nations. Yes, an African Cup of Nations is set to take place in 2022. Now, the Confederation of African Football has postponed Afcon 2021, which was set for January in Cameroon, to 2022. Now, the decision was reached after an executive meeting held in earlier Tuesday, that's today. Now, the tournament will be held in January to February 2022, with the weather conditions in Cameroon remaining a key factor. Now, the continent's global governing body also made some huge decisions regarding the future of the competition. Now, the African Nations Championship, which is the Afcon for locally based players, also got a hit. It was initially scheduled for April before COVID-19 hit, has been moved to 2021. Now, the 2020 African Cup of Nations for women has been scrapped completely to give way for the launch of the African Women's Champions League in 2021. In relation to inter-club competitions, this is what the decision CAF made. The CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup semi-finals will no longer be contested over 2 legs for home and away fixtures. The CAF Champions League semi-finals will be held in Cameroon in September, while the CAF Confederations Cup will be hosted in Morocco. The decisions were made to deal with the current circumstances related to the COVID-19 pandemic. So those are the decisions that have been taken by the governing body of Africans football, that is CAF, and they feel this will be the best decision, the best way to move forward in terms of African football. So many things have been disrupted by COVID. 2020 was supposed to be an amazing year for most. We were supposed to have so many tournaments. The CHAN was supposed to take place in April. It was shifted, and COVID-19, lockdowns, so many things happened, and we had to reschedule our calendar, and so many things have gone on still then. And we are still recuperating from COVID-19 and how it has hit us. As at now, COVID-19 is not totally eradicated. Hopefully, a vaccine, which was forthcoming, according to reports, later this year in December, before the winter will be in, and we will have a clear way for this COVID-19 pandemic and how to organize our sports-related activities. CHAN 2021, mark it in your calendars. It will be taking place in 2021 instead of 2020. African Cup of Nations for women cancelled totally. It was supposed to take place in November 2020. Ghana hosted the last one in 2018. African Cup of Nations, the men's, the senior one, will be taking place between January and February 2022. As a side note, as I said, 2022 is also a World Cup year, and for the first time in history, I don't know, but I think for the first time in history, the World Cup will be held between November and December. There will be a pause in the leagues for national teams to prepare for that. It will be held in Qatar 2022. And with that, African Cup of Nations taking place in January, February, qualifies for the 2023 African Cup of Nations, which will be taking place in January 2023. Will have to be played in 2022 actually, which is the same year we're playing the African Cup of Nations. So during the international breaks, I think these games will have to be played, and I think it will be a really tight, jam-packed calendar in 2021 and 2022. 2021, we are looking forward to CHAN. 2022, we are looking forward to African Cup of Nations. The Confederations Cup will be played over one leg, and the Champions League. Confederations Cup will be played in Morocco. The Champions League will be played in Cameroon. A one-legged game, no two legs game. That is what CAF have decided on. I hope the spacing will be conducive, but we will all have to compromise. COVID-19 has made us learn how to compromise with circumstances, and I think most of the players will have to adjust, and substitutions I'm sure will be increased for most of the national teams in these competitions, and that will cater for everyone significantly. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this new structure? 2022 African Cup of Nations, January, February. African Cup of Nations for women cancelled. CHAN 2021, Confederations and Champions League will be played over one leg. Cameroon and Morocco will be hosting them. Your thoughts on everything? Comments box. Smash the like button if you like this video. On to my next story. Thomas Partey. I'm really excited by this new development. Thomas Partey, according to reports, he has been talking to Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier is currently with Atletico Madrid from Tottenham Hotspur, and he says here, let me quote him exactly so that it is not taken out of context. Now, this is what Trippier said on Partey joining the Premier League. Thomas is still a very young player, I'm quoting Trippier, and everyone loves him out here. I want him to stay because he's a valuable member to our team. He speaks perfect English. I don't think he would have a problem with the Premier League. Trippier, on if Partey asked him about the Premier League. Obviously, everyone watches the Premier League. He just asked what it's like, the style of play, but a few players have it. It doesn't mean they are leaving, by the way. Thomas will fit in perfectly in the Premier League. So, Kieran Trippier clearly admitting that Thomas Partey has been asking him about the Premier League. It's quite clear here, but he is currently saying that Thomas Partey asking him about the Premier League doesn't mean he wants to leave. He's quite right on that front as well. But Arsenal, according to reports, are close to signing Thomas Partey. The Gunners have maintained their interest in the Atletico Madrid midfielder despite attempts by Spanish club to frustrate them by offering an increase in his buyout clause. According to Spanish outlet La Razón, Arsenal are on the verge of sealing a deal for the 27-year-old despite the financial concerns arriving. Last week I heard a report that Partey's agent was in London to finalize the deal. Mikel Arteta is expected to be working with a restricted budget this summer in the wake of the viral outbreak, but the report claims that the Gunners will be able to meet Partey's £47 million release clause. Partey has impressed Atletico Madrid this season, making 40 appearances. So Thomas Partey is currently trending on social media the ideal summer transfer for Arsenal fans. As an Arsenal fan, are you excited by this? Thomas Partey, it looks like he will be getting his move he wants into England. Will be battling with the likes of Ndidi, and his representatives have traveled. They will travel to England in the next week to wrap up the deal with Arsenal. And I say some people are suggesting that Guendouzi is sold. Thomas Partey has a £43 million release clause at Atletico Madrid, and it's likely, looking more and more likely with the current trends, that our man will be joining Arsenal pretty soon. I can't wait for that final deal to be done. Your thoughts on Thomas Partey joining Arsenal? What do you think? This latest development, Kieran Trippier, clearly Partey is inquiring to see how he can acclimatize to the system there. It's quite interesting. I'm really excited by this transfer news. I want to see how well he will fit into the Arsenal side should he move. I think move to the Premier League would be a step up for him, though I don't think Arsenal would be the best fit. I've already said it so many times on this channel. But let me know your thoughts on today's news. Thomas Partey more likely to leave for Arsenal. CAF have settled the dates for the Champions League, for the Confederations Cup, for the African Cup of Nations for women, for the CHAN 2020, and for the African Cup of Nations 2021, which has been shifted to 2022. Your thoughts on everything in the comments box. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.